Hi, I'm Rob Fox. I'm the farm manager at Quob Hall Farm in Leamington Spa. I'm also the host for the Strategic Farm West. August and September were fairly good months for us here. As you can see, the oilseed rape has established pretty well overall. That's because there was moisture there in August when we drilled, and September was a fairly good, warm, dry month for us. Allowed us to crack on. Rape established pretty well. Wheats went in quite well at the end of September before it started raining, and then obviously a very, very wet October, November, and a very, very wet winter. Generally, crops have fared okay through a very, very wet winter. We've lost small areas of oilseed rape, mainly due to the weather, to the wet, and we've lost a couple of small areas of winter wheat, again mainly due to the weather. But all in all, considering how wet the winter was, crops are looking okay at the moment. We've just hit a very dry period now. We are crying out for a bit of rain, but at the moment things are holding up quite well. So for the rest of the season, we're obviously reacting a little bit at the moment to the dry weather. Certainly fungicides in winter wheat, we're doing less than we had planned. Very little wheat has had a P0. We're now, just today, we're now spraying T1s, and they're sort of less robust than they would have possibly been in a wet year. Rape as well, we're hoping for one fungicide on the rape, as it's now all in sort of full flower at the moment. We're trying to reduce our use of insecticides. We've been quite lucky this year. A lot of the rape didn't even need an insecticide for flea beetle this autumn. We managed to get it established and get it away in good conditions that the plants could grow away from the adult beetle. So only about 50% of it received one insecticide. Likewise on the wheats, not all the wheat had a autumn insecticide either. In terms of the beginning of the season, pre-emergence, we're quite blackgrassy here, so pre-emergence is quite heavy on the winter wheats. The unfortunate thing about this year is the amount of rain after spraying. We haven't had the residual effect that we'd hoped for, so we're going to have a fair blackgrass burden, and we've already started to take the decision to spray off certain areas of wheat, because we think the grass levels within them are just too high. Our biggest challenge this year, as always, is the weather. We had a dry September. It was okay for establishing oilseed rape, and that got away all right. But then obviously another very, very wet winter, the second wet winter on the trot for us. And then again for the second year running, once it did dry up in sort of March time, we haven't had any significant rain now for about 6 weeks. So again, as always, the biggest challenge for us is the weather, trying to do the right thing, trying to predict what might be happening, which we all know is incredibly difficult. So this is my concluding year of the Strategic Farm West. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to take it through all the way to the end of the programme as planned due to me moving on to another role somewhere else. All the trials in the ground this year will be taken through to harvest, and then later on in the year after harvest there'll be the opportunity for everyone to have a look at the results, and for us all to have a look at the results and see how things have gone this year. So I consider myself really lucky to have been involved in the Strategic Farm programme, and even though we're coming to the end here, there's still more really good strategic farms around the country, up in Scotland, in the east, and down in the south. So it'll be a really strong programme going forward, I'm sure. In the east, they're just coming into the last 2 years of their programme. Up in Scotland, they're in year 2, and in the north and down in the south, they're just beginning their journey. So should be a really exciting time, and obviously in the future, as more of them end, hopefully more will be online.